I've lost the button. Here we go. Talking to myself. I couldn't find the button. So I'll take a deep breath and regulate. How are we all? Good morning, good afternoon, good fucking day. Where are we? What's my name? It is Thursday, the 8th of June, 2023. My name's Heidi Maver. Last time I looked, I was the founder of EOTAS Matters and the author of Your Child Is Not Broken, which is now a Sunday House bestseller. Don't know if I mentioned I wrote a book. At EOTAS Matters, we work supporting families of neurodivergent children who have barriers to education. Hope you're okay. So I've got some people here and I can see that you know what you're doing. Drop me some angry faces. It's good for the algo. Also drop me some hellos. Good afternoon, Sharon Spink. Good afternoon, Charlotte. How are you all? I've not been live for a bit of an update for a while. I've been live for ramblings and different bits, but I just wanted to bring you up to speed on what's going on at EOTAS Matters because we've got some changes. There's been some changes in our home. There's some big stuff coming up for us as a family, us personally as a family, and there's some big stuff happening in the community. So I just wanted to tell you where I'm at, what's happening at EOTAS Matters HQ, and to give you some stuff that maybe will be of value to you, including some cheeky, cheap stuff. As I mentioned, at EOTAS Matters, we work supporting families of children who are neurodivergent, who have barriers to education. And predominantly, my work is focused on helping families who might need to unlock bespoke packages of education through EHCPs. And increasingly, we have families who are finding us who are earlier in the process than that. So maybe their children are experiencing barriers to attendance, or they're having difficulties actually even getting an EHC needs assessment filed by their school. And we have a really active Facebook community with some incredible parents and advocates in there who help each other and look after each other, and the advice in there is always excellent, and if it isn't, I delete it. And so yeah, it's definitely a day, Sarah. You can say that again. I've been up since 7, and anyone who knows me will know that that is not, I only usually see 7 o'clock in the day, and it's not normally the 1 in the morning, but we're good. I've had a very busy morning. I've had a great meeting this morning, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in terms of future plans for EOTAS Matters. But I just wanted to give you a bit of a steer on what we've got coming up in the next few weeks and months. Switch to this group. I can see your name, Sharon. Hi. And just to tell you what we've got, and I'm going to tell you some stuff that we've got that you can pay for. I'm going to tell you some stuff that's coming that you don't have to pay for. I'm going to tell you some stuff that's coming that is quite exciting. I'm going to tell you about some changes. So I guess the first thing I want to do is just reassure people around the, in case anyone hasn't heard or anyone doesn't know, for anyone who has an EOTAS Instincts membership with SEND Family Instincts, that membership is closing at the end of June. There are various reasons why we've made that decision. It has been a mutual decision by myself and Jess Kane at SEND Family Instincts. I just want to reassure you, there's no drama, there's no fallout. Jess was drunk texting me last night telling me that she loves me. We're still friends, it's all good, right? We've just made the decision that the organisations are moving in slightly different directions, and she wants to streamline her services, and I want to look at how we better serve our community. So that membership will be ending at the end of June. If you're currently an EOTAS Instincts membership holder, you will be switched to the main SEND Family Instincts membership, which is called SEND Support, which is being run in association with Not Fine in School. I think currently the EOTAS Instincts membership is £35 a month, and the SEND Support membership is £30. So you will save a little bit. You won't have access to all of the EOTAS Instincts templates, but don't fret, because I'm going to tell you what we're going to do for that and what our plan is. There's my child. What's the matter, child?
Legs is in a funky mood.
Legs is in a funky mood. Come and get into bed with me, Legs.
I shut the door and it hit his bum, and he freaked out and like a weird gallop, and then he headbutted the ironing board.
Okay, people are saying good morning, Theo.
Morning. I have a wish list.
Theo does have a wish list. You are such a tinker. Yeah. Theo's going for surgery in 2 weeks in Turkey. If you would like to send him some stuff on his wish list, I will make sure I pop a post up. You cheeky monkey.
What?
I mean, like, you can take the boy out of the hustle, but you can't take the hustle out of the boy, right? I will find his wish list. I'll post a link for anyone that wants to support him by sending him some stuff off his wish list. It has got stuff on there that we need for the hospital. But more importantly, I think for him, he's also added a shed load of books and I think some Lego. So I was like, just put stuff on that you need. But he does need things like button-up pajamas, and dressing gown he can get on and off easily, some footwear for the hospital, some dressings and different stuff like that. So, but anyway, have a look. I will post a link. Maybe I'll try and do that right now. Will it let me do that? And then that's out of the way. I can't be mad about it. I can't be mad about it because I've raised him to ask for what he needs, and this is stuff that he needs. So I can't be mad about it. Right, here we go. Here's his wish list. I didn't just come on here to. What I would also say is that we have, we've got money put aside, and we're still fundraising. So don't feel obliged. But if you would like to send him something, this is where the shit that he wants is, including, I think, some glow in the dark Crocs. But anyway, okay, so that's the first thing. Zen Family Instincts membership is closing at the end of June. I'm going to tell you about some things that we're going to do to try and plug the gap. As Sharon's saying, I need to decide which SFI membership we need. So go on, I would recommend go on the Zen support one to start off with and work out if that's still, I mean, the great thing about Zen Family Instincts and something that we are not able to offer currently is that Zen Family Instincts will give you support calls. So not support calls, sorry, they'll give you a help desk function. So you can email them and they'll email you back an answer with signposting to stuff within the website that will help you with your query. There are lots of resources in our free Facebook group, and all of our webinars that are targeted to specific things within my website, which is HeidiMaver.com. All of the webinars have resources attached to them for the different things. So when you go and buy a webinar, and I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second, when you go and buy a webinar, you will get all of the resources that go with those webinars. We're working on building up a bank of resources and making those available at the end of the summer, and there's some other stuff coming at the end of the summer. So it's going to be like a tricky, perhaps, period of transition, but we're going to try and do as much as we can to make it as smooth as possible. And do continue to use SFI. They have advocates there who are trained and know how to advise you on all things EHCP. Okay, how much Lego is on the wish list? I haven't looked, Sarah, and I'm not gonna. But I do know that if everyone buys the books, then there'll be room for nothing else in the freaking luggage. So maybe look at the things that are practical. But, you know, I know he wants books. And he's going to be lying in a hospital bed for 10 days. So I can't, you know. I'm going to have to turn the fucking pages for him, though, because he's not going to be able... He won't be able to lift his arms above chest height for at least a week. And he won't be able to lift his arms above this height for at least a fortnight. And then he won't have full extension in his arms until probably 8 weeks post-surgery. So I will be wiping an 18-year-old's ass, I think, for at least a week. Can't wait. Okay. Yeah, if you don't ask, you don't get. Who wouldn't want Lego? Books and Lego, exactly. I had a few memberships on FFI, and you can switch between each month as you need to. Exactly that, Sarah. So shop around, see what works best for you. Okay, so let me tell you about what we're doing with regards to webinars. So if you go on my website now, HeidiMaver.com, there is a webinar that myself and Kate Jones are running on the 15th of June. It's a brand new webinar and it's entitled Autism and Mental Health. And we've written that together. And basically what we're going to cover in that is, as you would imagine, so we're going to cover common mental health myths, the intersection between autism and mental health, masking and burnout, therapies and treatments most commonly offered to autistic people experiencing poor mental health, and some practical tips for how you can support your autistic child or young person's mental health. So because we know that this is a massive issue for many of our families. So that webinar is 20 quid. And if you go straight to my webinars page on the website, it's the first webinar that comes up. That's on the 15th of June. If you book a ticket to that, you'll also get a free replay with that. You get lifetime access via our library. People who have bought a few of our things will know that your library fills up and you need another one. But anyway, we're working on that too. We're working on streamlining that back office. But currently, you get a login and you can go back and re-watch that webinar as long as you need to. It's lifetime access. What we've also done is all of our other webinar replays have been discounted. So we've put a summer sale on for all of our webinars so that if you are currently an SFI member and you want to be able to access the webinars that are currently part of your membership, you'll be able to access them all, and they're a £5 each. So normally the replays are £20, but if you go on my website, all of my webinar replays are a £5. Let me tell you what there is on there. So we have got on there, we've got the EOTAS 101, which is my best-selling EOTAS webinar. Over 3,000 people have accessed that now. It's basically what EOTAS is, what it isn't, how you get it, the law around EOTAS, case law. There's also resources that accompany that. There's also a barriers to attendance webinar on there that I did with Kirsty in Wiltshire from Raising a Well Child. So that is, how does school-based anxiety show up and what to do about it, how to talk to school about it, all of that kind of stuff. There's a webinar called The Art of Complaining, which is basically a guide to kicking ass for SEND parents. There's a webinar on personal budgets. So this follows on from the EOTAS 101, which covers FAQs. And then this one helps you to work out how and when to request a personal budget, the difference between personal budgets and direct payments, how to put a personal budget request together. There are resources that accompany that. Then there's also a how to put together an EOTAS request webinar, again, only a £5. So you can work out what your child needs. Maybe your LA have asked you to come back to them with a formal request, but you've no idea what to put in that. That's the webinar for you. There's a Why Am I So Flipping Exhausted webinar, which I did with Kirsty Chassels. She's an occupational therapist who specializes in long COVID, fibromyalgia, and chronic fatigue in adults. And she's also a neurodivergent affirming OT who supports families and parents and carers of children and young people who are neurodivergent. She shares with us in that her battery energy model of fatigue management, talks through the different types of fatigue, how to approach pacing. It's freaking brilliant. Section A for PDA, which I did with Karen Stepanova. This is how and what to include in Section A, your parent views and opinions of your EHCP application, how to use it effectively to evidence what does and doesn't work for your child. There's a webinar in there called Could It Be Hypermobility with Joe McMeekan, who is a specialist sensory trained physiotherapist. We talk about that link between hypermobility and neurodivergence, how to support a child or young person who has joint pain that you think might be hypermobility. And then there's a 2-hour webinar in there from me and Kate Jones, which is called Surviving the Trauma of Broken Systems. And Kate and I dig into what is trauma, how to validate the experiences of people going through the system and getting fucked over, and also practical tools to self-soothe and be trauma aware and be kind to yourself. And then there's also an annual reviews for EOTAS webinar. So if you've already got an EHCP and or you've already got EOTAS and you need to go through an annual review program, then that's the webinar for you. So they're all there and they're a £5 each. Okay, so you can buy as many as you need. They will stay at that price for a month. So where are we at now? We're on, where's my website gone? I was looking at it a second ago. Is it? Here it is. So this summer sale, what I'm calling it, I don't know what else to call it, ends on the 9th of July. Okay, so you can buy them all and get access to them all and watch them when you need to. Or you can buy however many you need, and instead of being 20 quid each, they're a £5. So I hope that makes the transition a bit easier for you all, whilst we're moving everyone from the different memberships within SFI. If you're thinking, shit, well, actually, I joined for the webinar resources, then you now have access to all of my webinar resources at like 75% discount. And I'm doing that because it doesn't cost me anything to do that. Those webinars are already recorded. I've already paid my guest speakers and my trainers. That income from those webinars just trickles through and helps me cover my overheads. So, don't worry, you're not taking advantage. And I'm not doing it because I need cash flow, although that's always nice. But I'm doing it because I want to support people who are going through this transition as their memberships change at SFI. That's the first thing. I hope to God he has not put the Lego Millennium Falcon on that wish list, Sue, but I would not put it past him. I guess I should go and see what he's actually put on the wish list. but I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so that's the first thing. SFI membership, EOTAS Instincts membership ends on the 30th of June. After that date, you won't be able to access any of the EOTAS Matters resources, so the guide to and the other templates, but you can access them all through our webinars library by buying whichever webinar you need to watch for a £5. As always, if financial hardship is an issue for you, please message me. We'll see you right. But I'm hoping that by making them a £5 each, that makes it really accessible for people, and particularly people who were on the SFI membership because you were paying £35 a month. The other reason we've decided to do that is because SFI want to really streamline their offer, and because of the implications of VAT and all that gubbins, we were feeling like that was getting to the upper end of what people could afford month on month. So we had a big conversation about how do we make this most affordable and accessible for people, and we made the decision that we made. So that's that. Summer sale, £5 webinars. Mental health and autism, 15th of June, webinar with Kate Jones, £20. Attend live and or get a replay included with that ticket price. That won't be discounted to a £5, by the way, so you're not missing out by paying for that. The way that my model works with, and I'll be transparent with this, the way that my model works, when I do a webinar with someone the first time, we half the income and that's their fee. So I'm not going to discount that because I want to pay Kate, who is a neurodivergent autistic adult, for their time. Okay. What I'm also doing is I'm also working on a bank of resources that we will have as an online bank of resources from September. There's some stuff coming in September. I'm going to tell you what my schedule looks like for the summer so that you can have something to look forward to and you know what's coming. Okay, so the first thing that we're doing is we've got the summer sale on and all of our webinars are going to be a £5. When I get back from Turkey, we go straight into the summer holidays. And my intention over the summer holidays, I had a big conversation with some of the people in my team and a couple of other parents about, should I do stuff in the summer holidays? Like, really, are people like on summer holiday schedules? And what we came to agree between us was actually our families are different. Like, we don't do things on regular timetables. And the reason we don't do things on regular timetables, see you later, Sharon, is that we have kids who aren't in school or who have barriers to education. And because of that, our summer holidays don't look the same. So with that in mind and kind of honouring that and understanding that this won't work for everybody, but I'm doing it in good faith, in understanding that this is how it was for our family. And, you know, and even if you are going away over the summer, you know, unless you're super lucky, it won't be more than 2 weeks. Our days all run the same. Holidays makes no difference. That was the feedback I got from most people that I spoke to about this. So with that in mind and knowing that people are heading into September and want to be ready for what's coming with the new school year, we're going to run some programs over the summer. Okay, I've got a tribunal coming up and I want to prepare for it for September. I know who this is. Yes, I know you do. Precisely, not regular timetables and avoiding busy places. Holidays make no difference to us at all. It's so funny because when I spoke to someone about this, I was like, I'm thinking about rolling out a program in the summer. And they were like, really? And I was like, oh yeah, we're special. In our community, we do things differently. Time isn't real for us. So I'm glad that at least some of you agree with that. So what we're going to do is, full disclosure, I am going to run some paid programs. And there's something coming that I can't quite tell you about, but there's some things coming that I can tell you about. So you might know about our Unstoppable Parent program. It's a 5-week program that I run with Kate Jones, who's my person. She's a neurodivergent psychotherapist. She's also Chief Comms Officer at Neuroclastic, an all-round excellent human. And she and I have run Unstoppable Parent twice now. It's a 5-week program for parents who want to understand a bit more about trauma, a bit more about stress and anxiety, a bit more about what it looks like to parent in a neurodivergent household and not lose your shit. And we have had huge success with these programs. We've run it twice now. I think in total, about 200 people have been through the Unstoppable Parent program. And we know that this changes people's baseline ability to deal with stress, anxiety. It helps them find coping mechanisms. It provides them with a community to be with other parents who have that shared experience. And we know it makes a difference. We know it does. The feedback we get from Unstoppable Parent time and time again is, this is the best thing I've ever done. What we also do is we provide you with a certificate. So when they try and send you on a parenting program, you can say, I've done one. We might even get it CPD accredited at some point. But anyway, regardless of that, over the 5 weeks, we deep dive into some of the key issues that are faced by neurodivergent households. And we skirt around a bit, actually. The main thing we look at is polyvagal theory. So that's the fight, flight, freeze, fawn and flop response. But we also look at triggers. We look at sensory profiles. We look at kind of like why and how your brain does things, and like really understanding your personal psychology and your personal boundaries. We look at inner self-talk. We look at rejection sensitivity disorder. It's like a nice meaty 5 week, a bit of geeking, a bit of brain geekery. So we do that together. We're running that in the summer. So what we are going to do is when I get back from Turkey, that's where we're going, on the week commencing the 10th of June, I'm going to run a 5-day challenge. And that 5-day challenge is a free challenge for everybody and anybody. I will get the challenge registration page up so you can register, but we'll also do it live together. So if you register for the challenge, you'll get entered into a draw and stuff and all that gubbins. I've got to work that out. Can you tell I threw this together this week? But no, I didn't throw it together. I'm very good at this shit. I know what I'm doing. You can trust me. Team MD. So yeah, come and join that. Apparently that's an octopus. Just to share this with you. Look, squirrel. That's an octopus. Team MD. My friend Eleanor gave it to me, but actually I've been thinking it's a sheep forever. It's not. It's an octopus. Anyway, whatever. So the plan is to run the challenge from the 10th. And I will put this in a mailer this week, from the 10th of July. And that 5-day challenge is basically an audit of where you are now to help you work out what you need next. So in that audit, each day of the challenge, we'll look at different aspects of things that we know that crop up for parents. So let me tell you, for example, get it up. So we'll look at your barriers. So barriers to accessing services, barriers to attendance, barriers to peace, personal barriers, financial barriers. We'll look at that. We'll also do a needs audit. So what do you need as a family? What do you know has already been identified as a need, either for you or your child or whoever, but also what needs are not identified. So what things have you got going on that maybe you don't know why that's cropping up for you as a family? We'll do a provision audit. What have you already got in place for you and your family, for your child and the individuals in your household, to help you deal with what's going on? And we'll also do a priorities audit. How do you decide what is important when and first? And then we'll do a skills audit for you. So what gaps in your skills and knowledge do you have that means that you aren't able to advocate properly for your child, or that where you really need to upskill yourself? So that's the challenge we'll do together over 5 days, and we'll close that with a masterclass. And what that will help you do is that will help you work out, first and foremost, what your priorities are going to be going forward, and for you as a family, where you need to seek help, support and advice. And that might not necessarily be from me. And there will be some signposting, but if that is from me, that will also help you decide whether you think the Unstoppable Parent Program is the right place to do that. See what we're doing here? Giving you a free challenge, close it with a masterclass, sell. I'm not going to pretend that's not what we're doing, but I'm also going to give value whilst we're going through that. Trauma after 11 surgery and more coming. Crikey, O'Reilly. Oh, my love, I'm sending you some love. Okay, you need to plan to get this one. Yo to geeking. Okay, so the Unstoppable Parent Program is amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. Thank you. And if you've done it before, you will get an email to offer you to do it again. We tweak it. It's different every time. So yeah, you're welcome to jump back on again. Would this be good for a neurodivergent parent to better understand themselves? Yes, and hold on. 10th of July, Tina, not 10th of June. My God, that's in 2 days' time. I really need this audit. Great idea. Thank you. I'm pretty proud of it. This couldn't have come at a better time. Good. I'm pleased. Sounds exciting. Amazing. Brilliant. Oh, we're in Tenerife until the 12th of July. Fucking brilliant. I love Tenerife. That's okay. You can catch up. these challenge will be like a live with me every day, probably around half an hour, and then a little bit of a now go do this. You can access it afterwards on replay. The only advantage of doing it live is that there's going to be a giveaway. I'm going to give away some shit for people who do it live. That's called an engagement hook in the business. Giving away all the secrets here, right? I'm going to put you in a lead magnet. I'm going to funnel you through. I'm going to give you an engagement hook. I'm going to sell. I'm working on the basis that if I tell you what I'm doing, it doesn't look disingenuous. And I'm always of the opinion that when you have a service, a product or service to sell to people, don't treat them like freaking idiots. They know that you've got a product or service to sell. And my ideal client base are people who need that product and are willing and open to and graciously willing to engage in that transaction. And if you're not, that's totally cool. Like, I mean, you may consider this a sales technique. It might be a double bluff. Really, I'm going to hard sell the fuck out of it, but I'm not. Okay. So that's that. That's on the 10th of July, and then our Unstoppable Parent program will run. You will be able to book onto the Unstoppable Parent program from the end of that challenge week, and then the Unstoppable Parent program itself will run from the week beginning the 31st of June. So I think it's like the 3rd of August it runs. Yeah, and it runs on Thursday nights. I'll tell you all of this a little nearer the time, but it's a 5-week program. So it runs from the 3rd of August and it takes us all the way through August until the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. No, week after. 28th, 29th, 30th. April, June, November, all the rest of 31. 28th, 29th, 30th. 31st of August. So, yes, that's Unstoppable Parent. So if you want to jump on that, look out for the challenge coming on the 10th of July. That's a free 5-day challenge with a masterclass at the end. Then you'll be able to jump on Unstoppable Parent. You will have 2 weeks basically to book yourself onto Unstoppable Parent, and then we'll start. During that run-up, during that challenge, I'll tell you more about how Unstoppable Parent works. If you think you would like to do it, go onto my website and get yourself on the waiting list. You're not committing to anything, but you'll get yourself on a mailing list so that you know that when we're live, you'll get an email saying, go, go, go. If you just go onto the HeidiMaver.com, go to for parents. I'm just searching for it now. I'll put it in there. For families, Unstoppable Parent. And it says Unstoppable Parent is now closed. Get on the waiting list to be notified when we open again. So I'll put that in the comments so that if you do that and go over there now, you will be able to, you'll get all the information when it's available. There we go. Unstoppable Parent. Where are we at? Can we be your business coach? Only half joking. Tina, we do have a professionals community for EOTAS Matters. Search EOTAS Matters professionals community. We don't do very much, but watch this space. EOTAS Matters 2.0. That's in that plan. Okay. It never disingenuous if it benefits anyone who's engaging. I hope so. Do we have to run it up the flagpole and see if it flies? Yes. Also, we'll be doing some blue sky thinking, some 360 feedback, and it will definitely be a win-win situation. And other buzzwords. We'll have a bingo buzzword. You know I love a bingo. Hi, Linda. Hi. Linda, actually, I've known for a long time. Linda's got an autistic child. Linda's kid was autistic before I knew my kid was autistic. And Linda was a person that I watched go through some of the things that we then experienced. And Linda was always my benchmark for this is how you hold it together. Yeah, it's nice to see you, my love. If it's the right Linda, fuck me. Now I'm thinking, shit, is it the right Linda? Oh my God, that could be so embarrassing. Let me just check. Fuck. Let me just check. Oh, thank fuck, it's the right Linda. That could have been bloody awkward. Anyway, hi, Linda. Also, Linda did, she's like, it's the right Linda. I mean, leave me hanging. But Linda did my Unstoppable Woman program, which was the first incarnation of the Unstoppable Parent program. So when I used to not know that there were more than 2 genders, I used to run a program called the Unstoppable Woman. And Linda was one of the first people to come through that cohort. Anyway, okay, let's see where we're at to. So Linda, that's my friend Linda. Also, Linda makes incredible felt dolls. I don't know if you've seen, I've shared them before. She made a pair of felt dolls of me and Theo. They're fucking gorgeous. Go and check her out. Go and find her Facebook page and her Instagram. Linda, put your Instagram link in the comments. What have I missed? I loved your webinars. What are you selling at the moment? I will be jumping at it. All webinar replays are £5 on the website until the, I think I said 10th of July, Lindsay. Go look, go look, go, go, go. But not yet. I've got some more stuff to tell you. Okay. Andrea Keenan, hello. Sue says, the right Linda sounds fab. She is the right Linda, and she's freaking brilliant. And there you go. She's telling me she did the first Unstoppables that I ever ran, which was about, God, 6 years ago, maybe even more. Love felt animals. Does Linda do those too? I'm not sure. She does like, oh, they're beautiful. Go and have a look. Linda, put your link in. Okay. So that takes us through to, let me go back to my schedule. That takes us through to the end of August, right? And in with Unstoppable Parent, we've got guest slots, Q&As. I'll talk you through what was going to happen. Then, just when you thought it couldn't get any more exciting, we're going into another challenge. So 28th of August, there's another challenge week. And this challenge will lead us into Neurocurious. I'm not going to tell you too much about Neurocurious at the moment because I'll talk about that a little bit further down the line. But people who were saying, will this help me get to grips with Mama Wolf's Art? That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Neurocurious will help you get to grips with if you are neurodivergent, or if you're questioning your neurotype and you have a neurodivergent family member and you're doing what a lot of us do, which is like, shit, I think I might be autistic, ADHD, otherwise neurodivergent. Neurocurious is a 12-week course, and it basically does what it says on the tin. It's for people who are curious about neurodivergence. We will be running that from September through to the end of the year, and it's a really meaty, community focus, intensive 12 weeks that we do together. You have access to me in a closed Facebook community, and it's freaking belting, if I don't mind saying so myself. We've only run it once before. That Neurocurious cohort are now in a small community on Facebook where I still am with them, and they're freaking beautiful. It was one of the most incredible things to be part of first time round. So we're running it again. It will not run again, like probably for another 12 months. But I don't want you to worry too much about that, because the challenges will let you know whether the things that are coming up are right for you. So what we will also do is, if you do Unstoppable Parent, you'll get a discount on Neurocurious. So I don't need to be thinking, oh, I've got to choose, because we'll lead one into the other. See? Clever. Think about your customer journey, Heidi. I'm doing that. Thanks, marketing trainer. You wouldn't imagine that perhaps I've got a Chartered Institute of Marketing postgraduate certificate in marketing promotions and PR, would you? I mean, it's freaking wildly out of date, but never mind. So that's what's coming, right? So we've got almost like it's planned. Yeah, exactly. Linda, you've just got your ADHD diagnosis. I mean, colour me not surprised, but there we go. Ooh, says Tina. So just to recap for you, and then I'm going to tell you about something else that I just want to share with you, that's a little bit of something exciting. There are some other things coming up. I am doing a couple of live events in the autumn. Watch this space. I'll keep you posted. Like I said, the best thing to do is to go and get on my mailing list, and just go to the website, sign up for my mailing list. But regardless, like, I'm impossible to ignore. You might have noticed. So, summer audit challenge, Unstoppable Parent. Then into the new school year, another challenge, Neurocurious for those who want to join us. There's something else coming, but I'm not going to tell you about that right now. But the thing I can share with you right now is that I had a meeting this morning, and we are going to incorporate a community interest company for EOTAS Matters. Now, what that means Didn't you also write a book? I did write a book, Sue, and I'd confirmed today that it's being released in paperback in America in September 2024. Whoop, whoop. I mean, God. I mean, what happens if we find a cure for autism before then? I'll talk about the book on a separate occasion, but I did write a book, and you can get that through my website, and it is a Sunday Times bestseller. Anyway. There's no wonder I'm fucking exhausted. Anyways, so we're gonna EOTAS Matters is gonna have a community interest company in the autumn, and the reason for that, right? The main reason is that currently I operate as a limited company. So basically, all that means is I'm just a business. I say I'm just a business, and I pay tax and I pay insurance and all that gubbins. But currently where I stand is that anything that I do that's discounted or subsidized, the business has to fund. And that like depends on what the cash flow is like for the rest of the business. And so it's very much dependent on other people have to spend money in order for me to subsidize people who can't afford to spend money accessing my products and services. And that's always really been so tricky for me because whilst my ideal client is someone who can afford my products and services, really the people who need my products and services more are sometimes people who do not have access to finance that will allow them to engage in my products and services. So you'll see that I always offer subsidized or free spaces, but that is always at the cost to the business. And I then have to work that into my cash flow, and then that has an impact on pricing and all that gubbins. So by becoming a community interest company, what that basically means is that it will position us as an organization who serve a particular marginalized community, in this case, neurodivergent households. And we will be able to draw down funding to fund subsidized programs. It also means that I will be able to pay my staff properly. Not that I don't currently, but we are in a position where I'm starting to have to think about expanding our staff base. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about giving neurodivergent people paid, excellent work opportunities. And I've got big plans for what we want to do with the EOTAS Matters. You know, like I want to have a program of services where, regardless of someone's financial situation, they can it's accessible for them. I want to make sure that we have really good peer-to-peer support programs. I want to make sure that we're trauma informed, that we're child-led. You know, I want to make sure that we're doing the things that are needed within the community. You know, when I first started doing this work, I did what a lot of entrepreneurs do. I just call myself an entrepreneur. What a wanker. But I did what a lot of entrepreneurs do, which is I did this because I wanted to make a difference to people, right? And what often happens in that situation is that by the very nature of that, you are unable to serve the people who most need you because you have to be commercially viable. So we are commercially viable, and we have managed without any funding for the past 2 years. And I'm really proud of what we've done. And, you know, and I've worked really freaking hard. And thank God for universal credit, because without that, we would have been stuffed. And now it's time to get serious. I'm trying to find some notes that I can share with you, but I can't find them. It's now time to get serious about the legacy of the work that we're doing and future-proofing what we do and how we do it, so that it's not reliant on me having a good month and feeling a bit generous or selling a book. It's something that will be in place and will support families for a lot longer than I am able to spearhead it and I'm able to steer the ship. And it also needs to be a ship that any bugger can steer. So we're going to really think about streamlining our offer. And more than that, actually, then expanding the offer to fill the gaps that are currently not being met for families who have neurodivergent kids who have barriers to education. So with that in mind, the CIC will launch in the autumn. It won't mean anything for you individually, but Tina's one step ahead. CICs can apply for grant funding. So I will then be able to make applications for grant funding to provide free or heavily subsidized products and services to families who are in financial hardship, who are not able to otherwise access those services. Because I know from when I was in that situation and I wasn't working, I didn't have a pot to piss in. And I relied on the kindness of people, the likes of Jess Kane from Some Family Instincts, and other people who, Christy Forbes, who gave me things and helped me with things without me having to pay for them. And I'm painfully aware that it's not okay to be asking neurodivergent people to give you free labour. So this way, we get people who have pots of money to pay neurodivergent people to serve other neurodivergent people in a really values-based way. So with that in mind, I'm going to share with you a little bit about where we're at with the CIC. So in the next few weeks, I'll be recruiting non-executive board members, and I will be able to take you through that, share with you how that's happening. Longer term, Lindsay, that's our intention. But currently, I have a core staff who are all freelancers. So I have a virtual assistant, I have an accountant, bookkeeping person, and I have someone who looks after my social media. I'm just in the process of recruiting someone of quite a specialist role from within the community, and that will be my core team as we head into the CIC. My intention longer term is to be able to offer paid work to people, perhaps even have a training program in place for parents who want to retrain and start a new career in advocacy or peer-to-peer support. But that's a much longer term. That's probably like a 5-year plan. But this is what we're doing. Okay, so the CIC will exist. Our charitable, community-focused social enterprise aim will be to support parents who are advocating for their neurodivergent children with barriers to education. And our core values will be that we will prioritise mental health and family well-being. We will be trauma-informed. We will raise and platform neurodivergent and particularly autistic voices. And we will provide brave spaces for people to make self-discovery and to learn how to self-advocate. So that's where we're at. I'm just going to make a quick note because I've just remembered something. So that's what's coming. So it's all a lot. But I've said we're doing it now, so we're doing it. The first phase of this will be the easy bit that I can do kind of without anyone else. I mean, that's not true. But the bit that I know I can deliver right now, which is our summer programme of Unstoppable Parent and the Audit Challenge, which is coming in July. So, and then you watch this space. I will absolutely be seeking feedback from the community. I'll be looking for people to be part of focus groups and, all of that jazz. And I'm really excited for what we're going to do together. We're going to change the world. Like, not me, we're already changing the world. We're already having conversations at tables, the likes of Ellie from Square Peg and Maddie and Susan from No School Fines and the team at Send Reform, who have got the big demonstration happening on the 21st of June. We are making ourselves impossible to ignore. These conversations are really important conversations. These conversations will shape the future of our children and our education. So it's big stuff. It's big work. We've got some trees to tear up, but I'm really, really excited. The answer to that question would be absolutely not. I would know where to start, and I think you're probably a spammer. Can't wait. I'm going to the webinars as I can afford it now. Oh, brill. So your call to action for right now is go to my website and have a look at the £5 webinars and/or book yourself on the mental health and autism webinar that is happening very soon, 15th of June. It's in about a week. And if while you're there, you want to have a bit of a shufty about and read some of the bits on my website, if you find any typos, let me know. If you find any broken links, do give me a heads up. And while you're there, sign up for the waiting list for the Unstoppable Parent. And yeah, I would love, can't believe I've only just arrived at the same time as that spammer. I don't even know how to block them on this platform. Block user, there we go. So yeah, thanks for letting me ramble on and for all listening. I am so grateful to the other families in this community who support each other. I'm so proud of what we've built together, and I'm really excited for what we're going to do next. So yeah, watch this space. Theo and I get on a plane to Turkey in 2 weeks' time. I mean, that's a whole big thing, which we'll be talking about for sure. We've been asked if we'd like to write a book about it. We'll see. But yeah, in the meantime, please go and have a look at the website. And oh, bless you. Thank you, everyone. And as ever, whilst we're getting our shit together with the CIC, if things are inaccessible for you because of financial hardship, do send us an email. We'll see what we can do for you. We know that people only ask for that when they need to. So you don't need to tell us everything about everything that's going on. You don't need to like make a plea or, lay out your, you don't just say, I can't afford this. Can I have it? Please, can I have it? Let us know if your resort is neuro friendly. We're not actually going on holiday, Tina. We're traveling to a clinic for Theo to have some gender affirming surgery. So it's going to be a fun 10 days of me wiping his arse, passing him drinks, trying to keep him hydrated, and feeding him and pumping him full of pain meds or not. I'm hoping that the surgery that he's having is different for everybody. So it very much depends on how his body responds. But he's young and healthy and fit and in good shape. So fingers crossed it will all go well. And I will keep you posted. His surgery is actually on the 20, where are we at? His surgery is on the 23rd of June. So that's 2 weeks tomorrow. Is that 2 weeks tomorrow? Yeah. But before then, I've got a smear test tomorrow and a speed awareness test next Friday. How exciting. Oh, dear me. Bought most of the website. Webinars, accidentally created 2 accounts though. Oh, it happens, Beth. If you get stuck, send us an email. We'll make sure you've got your logins and stuff. So yeah. So I won't do a live from the smear test, if that's all right with you. I mean, I know I'm a chronic oversharer, but nobody needs to see that. And I won't do a live from the speed awareness test because it's about the 5th one I've been on. So can't you have both at the same time? Oh, dear me. Leanne, could you give me some advice on the op? My child is going through the process. Yes, send me an email. Send me a private message on Facebook, Leanne. Just do me a friend request and just remind me who you are and we'll have a chat. And I'll signpost for you. Can you imagine? What are you going to be doing in my spare time? I know. And I am also conscious that this is a lot. And I'm feeling good right now. So all this planning is with the caveat that if the shit hits the fan and I'm back in deep burnout, no fucker will get anything out of me. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But for now, I'm riding the ADHD dragon and I'm feeling good and I'm excited. And I am genuinely committed to pacing. So although it looks like I'm a little bit manic and frantic, I've basically just dumped 6 months planning on you all to tell you what is happening. But I do know what I'm doing. Trust me, I'm not a doctor. And I look forward to doing some of it with you. So yeah, have a lovely day, or just have a day. A lovely day is a big expectation. I'm not the boss of you. Have a day, and hopefully I will see some of you for the webinar with Kate Jones next week, the 15th of June. You can book that on my website. That's 20 quid. And if you don't want to come to that, that's absolutely fine. There are plenty of other cheap webinars. Not cheap, affordable, value, good value. That makes it sound like the others aren't good value or affordable. What's the better word for cheap? accessible, cheap. And for anyone who is from the deaf community, we have got a BSL signer for our webinar next week. So if you know someone who is a parent in a neurodivergent household who wants to come and learn about autism and mental health, but they're deaf, please tell them that my webinar is BSL signed next week. Affordable, reasonable. Okay. I mean, cheap. It's freaking cheap. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. It's cheap. I'm a cheap ass candy ass. Also, I'm off the booze. It's going really well. I will see you all soon. Have a day. Take care, all.